me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What people do in no money, what people at you in no at you. Covid money miss away in the yellow correct you. Use the youth them on them waste and bust a man to statue. Say me like a catch you but bigger than a figure you. Take the spin of money girl and say that is not you. On the head the man above end up him a got a bet. Too much it in the kitchen some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me
300% raise.
It burn me
Garbage pile of the day.
It burn me
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me
I see corruption face.
It burn me
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say dig up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. We already promise it, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our river. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me
How them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scallion, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You
Boom! I mean, I say a couple to the flex they represent for Wayne Global TV. Ne? So I say, you would know the code in the Wayne Global TV is what fully blessed on 90 days. So I say, yeah man, to the fullest. Yeah man, make sure them log in to Wayne Global TV. So I say, check it out. So I say, one cup of flex. So I say, Wayne Global. When you watch you know, feel my plan up and I try to put them on on we head. But man, I live too long, them want Wayne Global fitted. To him juggle so smooth that them want him life for dread. I throw the bank, I like the break, but we ain't all about the bread. We open up in the ears and no listen when we said, cause we lyrics them so smooth like the linen on the bed. Them one with a fall, we live in pan the edge, I must say true, make this them. We in Global TV, we are 90, and 90. Who Jaja bless, say no man can curse. Give it the Range Rover, uno drive years. Boom! We in Global TV to the fullest one cup of excellence, see me?
Good evening. While we eagerly await for the Prime Minister to announce the date for local government election, tonight on Global TV, we will start a 5-week coverage of Jamaica Decide. We will cover everything election here, from nomination, campaign, election, polling, result, and the conversation of the aftermath. The questions that will come in the aftermath. Tonight on Global TV, we are journeying, our journey starts tonight in Portland. We will visit the family-owned parish of Portland. We will visit the mayoral municipality of Port Antonio. We will also visit the council division of Manchester, specifically in the community of Kensington, down in Red Lane. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Global Television. Thank you for joining us. And this or Jamaica Decide. From now on until after the election, everything here, all our other programs at the moment are on pause. We are anticipating the Prime Minister to announce the election date tomorrow after their big conference in Montego Bay. And everything from now on here will be election. So this tonight, we start our coverage, Jamaica Decide. Bear me a second, please. I need to adjust my screen. We start our coverage tonight, Jamaica Decides. So everything that will be happening over here from now until the first week of March, it will be all under the banner of we will not abandon our regular programming, but those will come under the same Jamaica Decide banner, under the same time slot. Everything will be election. Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Of course, we're not on TikTok because we have violated on TikTok, and I have been put into a TikTok jail cell for about 7 days. So I won't be back on TikTok until next month, tomorrow month. However, tonight we are on the X, we are on Twitch, we are on Facebook, on YouTube. Good evening to everyone on the live. Good evening to all those in the chat and welcome. This evening, we will be speaking to the Caretaker councilor, who will soon, as an election date announced, become the candidate in the local government election for the Manchiniel division, backing for the People's National Party. Tonight, we will here on Global TV be having that conversation with Caretaker Councillor Shawn Cooke right here tonight on Global TV. So share the live tonight and tell everybody that we have started our electioneering here on Global TV. We are preempting the Prime Minister, as everybody is. So right here on Global TV tonight, we will start our electioneering. As usual, I will do my hellos to everyone in the chat. Give me a second. Let me roll back to the top. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Good evening, Beat and Teach. Good evening, Natalia, veteran. Big up, big up, big up. Good evening, Debbie Jervis. Good evening and welcome. Good evening, Patricia Matthews. Always lovely to have you. Good evening, VM. Jason Kane, good evening. Kate M, good evening. VM, good evening and welcome. Good evening. Who else is here? Sunshine, good evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome, Monica Willis. Good evening, Angela 48349. Good evening and welcome. Dorothy Elliott, good evening and welcome. Beulah, good evening and welcome. Prof. Gorgeous Lady, good evening and welcome to Global Television. Who else is here? Good evening to everyone. Good evening and welcome. Jackie, thank you very much for being here. Good evening and welcome. Who else is here? Good evening to everyone who is on the live. Good evening to everyone in the chat. BCA Smith, good evening and welcome. Sonia Wint, Sasha Lewis, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for being here. In a Circle, good evening and welcome. Yeah, Mensa, good evening and welcome. Good evening, Parkin, good evening and welcome. Elaine Tucker, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Sharon Powell, good evening and welcome. Miguel Hernandez, good evening and welcome. Thank you for, not Miguel, sorry. Yes, Miguel. Yes. Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for being here. Wellness Warrior Sophie, good evening and welcome. Natalia, good evening and welcome. Who else is here? Jacqueline Wallace, good evening and welcome. Good evening all. Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Stacy, Raymond, Eve Williams, Sophie Grant, good evening and welcome. Unique Ray, good evening and welcome. Good evening all. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Good evening and welcome. Well, while we await our guests, we will look at what we were looking at today. The attack on our Constitution, the attack on our institution, the attack on our democracy. Sophie Grant, good evening and welcome. The attack on our democracy, where the Prime Minister have very little regard for our public purse, very little regard, John Brown, good evening and welcome, for rules and institution. We're in the dead of night, hours before the Prime Minister called the election. The Prime Minister sought, one could draw inference, the Prime Minister sought to corrupt the electoral process. First thing the Prime Minister did from 2002 November, the Prime Minister got rid of the policing for Parliament, the political ombudsman. We learned in the last few hours that the Prime Minister and Delroy Chuck tabled a bill in Parliament to get that bill through in a matter of 9 hours, to assault our legislative process in order to tamper with our electoral process, and not only that, but the process of policing our political institution and organization. But while my guest is here, I will leave the Prime Minister for later. Jamaica, tonight, we will be having a conversation with Shawn Cooke from the Portland parish. He will be the candidate for the People's National Party the moment an election date is announced. At the moment, he's the council caretaker for the Manchaniel division. Good night and welcome to Global TV, Mr. Cooke.
Good night.
Can you tell Jamaica who Shawn Cooke is?
My name is Shawn Cooke. I'm the councillor candidate for the Manchaniel division, Portland Eastern.
Give us a bit of background of who you are.
Okay. I was born, bred right here in Portland, Long Bay. I went to the rural primary school and then to Fair Prospect High. I work at the Port Antonio Hospital as a psychiatric nursing aide for over 8 years, from 2010 to 2019. After resigning from that job, I went directly into politics in 2019. 2020, I was the councillor candidate back then in 2020, but I withdraw after a few months because of certain situation. But in October last year, I was asked to represent the division once more. So here I am.
And are you a popular person within the Manchaniel community division?
I must say yes.
And you are going up against who is the councillor for that division at the moment?
The councillor is Paul Thompson. He's the councillor mayor for the Manchaniel division. Yes.
He's a councillor for Manchester
And he is the mayor for Port Antonio.
and the mayor for Port Antonio. Do you feel you have a good chance of going up against such a person?
Well, I have no doubt and no fear for Mr. Thompson because he has been the councillor for this division for over 7 years and also the mayor for over 7 years. And I have not seen nothing what he has done substantial for the Manchester division or for Port Antonio. So I have no fear. I have no doubt about this.
As somebody who has been in politics for about, since 2019?
Yes.
What have you been doing on the ground? What is your activity on the ground that you feel would guarantee you that leverage with the people to say, Shawn is the person that we want to lead our council from now on, because we have seen the things that Shawn has done that would let us give him the chance to lead our council?
Okay, well, as I said, I was the council candidate since 2020, and I back out a couple of months. I think early 2021, I back out, and since I've been back in about 4 months, I've done so many things where I've been going around talking, reasoning with the youths of the communities of Manchester Division, trying to see ways in which we could help the youths to have a better life because I see nothing is going on for them. I've been going around giving whatever little I could give to the elderly and also giving chicken and stuff to people who requested chicken and all those. And it has been going on fine so far.
What led me to you today is a video you posted on Facebook. Is there a motive for that video that you post on Facebook today?
Well, as I say to you, since Mr. Thompson has been the counselor for the Manchester Division, I have not seen nothing what he has done. He has not done nothing substantial, nothing that you could look on maybe 5, 10 years after now and said, yes, he has done this. That video that you see, I was.
Let me play that clip for the audience and then we continue the discussion after.
Yes, we are in Kensington, Red Lane, Kensington. Kensington is where the mayor lives. The councillor for this Manchester Division lives, and this is the condition of a parish council road. This is what the people of Manchester Division and of Kensington have voted for 7 years, being the councillor, the mayor for Port Antonio. And this is the community where he lives, and this is the condition of a parish council road. People of Kensington, right now, I just said to you all, time come to get someone who really want to represent people and not themselves. Time come for a change. Next local government election, vote for the People's National Party. Vote for empowerment.
Does the mayor live anywhere within the vicinity of Red Lane?
Yes, just
or is it somewhere where he would go regular?
Go regular. That is in the same community where he lives. That are just a stone throw away from where the mayor lives.
But wouldn't it be fair, though, to say that this is not just a failure of this current municipality, but a failure of successive municipalities, because that road has not been touched probably since colonization end?
Yes, yeah, I would say that also. But what I'm really looking at when we take this job, when you apply for this job, you know that you apply to represent people, to make people life better, to make the communities of the division that you are representing better. And I see where he tried nothing. Not because you come and you get that road in that condition, you are not trying to make a difference. And I think that is what politics is all about, trying to make a difference. And he is not trying to make no difference because I have not seen what he have done since. Nothing. His type of politics is, I would say, is like rum drinking politics. He have not done anything for the youths in the Mansion Hill division. Only thing he does, um, go to bars and make open bill. And he feel that that is enough. I
The
heard him make
prime
a statement.
the prime minister announced a $40 billion that he will be issuing out across the country to MPs. No doubt, a lot of that money will be trickled down to local government as well, because that is to do with our road fixing across the country. If you become the MP, the councillor, come the next general election, how would you spend your portion of that 40 billion that is allocated to your division to fix road like Mud Lane that has been deserted for decades?
Well, well, firstly, there is there are a couple of roads in this division that never touch, no asphalt ever go on
How would
those
a
roads.
Shawn Cooke elected deal with that situation? Those roads which you have identified since you were growing up that has never been touched. How would a Shawn Cooke deal with that situation under the budget the Prime Minister is allocated? How would you deal with your portion with all those roads you have identified?
Well, I know that I could not do everything at one time, but I would choose the most important roads, and try to see how I could deal with those roads the best way. Because as I said, there are many roads in the division that never touched before, and I would make those one my first priority to make sure I got those one done.
Have you gone to the current municipality to get a demographics of all the road within your division and the state of them and the measurement as well, so you can do your calculations when a budget is allocated to you for the road fixing?
No, not to the parish council, but I know every single parish council road within the division because
Oh, so you are fully aware of them. You're an underground man.
yes, straight
What other
every day.
plans? What other plans do you have for your municipality should you
Uh,
win at the
oh,
local elections?
okay, well, the next plan I have, I see where unemployment is very low in the Mansion division. A whole lot of youths, young girls that they don't have any jobs. So what I will do when I become the next council, I will make sure I make at least two community centers that we could use those community centers also as training centers because we have certified people in the communities that would offer their assistance to help train these persons. We have licensed electrician, we have
Mhm.
licensed plumber, we have licensed mason right across the board. So the first thing I will do, I will get in contact with this person, and then I will speak with the archers, where these people will do the training, and then archers can come and do the assessment. So some of these people could actually get a certificate because right now, as I see, right now, if you don't have a skill, like you're left behind. And when you have a skill and you are certified, you can make so much more money than just being a normal person, like a laborer on a site that getting maybe 3,500 a day or something like that. So I would make these community centers and training centers So, we can get people to come and train the youths so they could have a skill instead of nothing, just knowing that they leave school and that's it.
I do agree with you on that. That would be something very progressive. As a Portlander, Portland is quite attractive for tourism. How would a Shawn Cooke make sure his local community tap into the tourist dollar?
Okay. Well, in Manchiniel Division, we have the Reach Falls. I believe that Reach Falls is one of the most beautiful natural resources in eastern Portland. And I see where the mayor, he have the power. I don't think the mayor know his power and know his rights as a mayor, because I never see he try to exercise his power over the 7 years period, But Reach Falls, I think Reach Falls need to develop more, because Reach Falls is so beautiful and people from every walk of life visit Reach Falls on a daily basis.
Is that under the jurisdiction of the mayor or the council?
Well, he is the councillor mayor. He is also the councillor for the Manchiniel Division.
How would you, as councillor for that, make sure that community is developed? The money that is pumped into the municipality, develop that community so people can tap into the dollar and earn more, or develop themselves, create business for themselves within that community?
Well, as I'm saying, Reach is a very beautiful place and it have enough land spaces where you could build cottages like bungalows for tourists where they could come and stay. You could have people in the community do security work, do lifeguard work. It's a mean of employment for people within and also outside of the community. But the biggest problem we have there is the road condition leading to Reach Fall. For the last maybe 3-4 years, people is very hesitant to visit Reach because of the poor condition, the bad condition of the road to Reach.
The issue of Blue Lagoon has become a hot potato. Do you have a comment on the issue of the Blue Lagoon?
Not really.
If you become mayor, will the Blue Lagoon have anything to do with your municipality?
Exactly, because for many years now, people has been accessing Blue Lagoon. People have down there selling craft, making money. I know a man that stayed there and sent all of his kids to university, and now all of those people has been pushed aside. So everywhere you have rules and regulation. I would open back Blue Lagoon to the public, but put in certain rules and regulation, so it
Is
could
that
run.
something we can hold you to on global TV? That if Shawn Cooke wins at the next local government election, he will make sure that the locals have access to Blue Lagoon via the parochial road, albeit with some rules in place.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. What other plans can you tell the people of Manchiniel tonight that you want to put in place to make sure Manchiniel becomes more prosperous and economically viable?
Well, Manchiniel Division is a farming area because we have Reach, where Reach people, all they know is farming. They plant the most dasheen and banana and those things in Reach. So I would say organized farming. I would try to get as much as these young men into organized farming, because the thing is, we have a lot of young people out there that don't really know what they want. So you have to go around and you have to sit down with them and you have to reason with them and show them that, listen, you can do this and you can make a living off this. So I would say organized farming, livestock and catch crop, organized.
What other plans do you have for like developing up the local infrastructures within your municipality, because the development of local infrastructure comes under your local government. So what plans do you have for infrastructure development with the budget that you will get for your local government?
Okay. For the Mansionil division, the first infrastructure I would talk about, I would try my best to get a fire station in the Mansionil area because the nearest fire station to Mansionil is in Port Antonio. So oftentimes, whenever a house catch blaze in Mansionil, by the time the fire truck reach, the house actually burned down. So that is the first thing I would think about doing. There's a spot there that you have some people that used to use that spot for bar and stuff. And back in 2016, after they win the local government election, they removed all those persons from that spot and say they want that spot to put a fire station. And up till now, no fire station. The spot is just used blank. So I would look at that spot to put the first infrastructure, and that would be a fire station because Mansionil is a town, is a little town by itself.
Is that something we can hold you to, that making sure that the division of Mansionil have their emergency service, their fire service? That is
Yes,
something that you're saying to the people of Mansionil. If you
yes,
elect me, I will make sure you have your fire service in place.
yes, exactly.
Do you know where all of your drains and gullies are in your division?
Not all of them, but most of them.
How do you plan to spend your allocated budget wisely to make sure your drains and gullies are upkept, to make sure when there is excess rain, we don't have massive flood because we have a more freer movement of rainwater? How will you make sure your division is fully maintained?
To my knowledge, each month there is money that each councillor get for drain cleaning. So I would make sure I clean my drains on a regular basis, not waiting on rain when rain fall and the flooding start before you start to clean. Once you continue to maintain those drains on a regular basis, not necessarily every month, because if you clean it this month and you get the money to clean it next month and you see that it don't need cleaning, you don't have to waste the money and clean it, but you use the money to do something else because there is so much to do. But instead of these people that is in the position um, think about what next to do with the funding, they take it for themselves. And that is what is causing a lot of problem in the communities.
How will a Shawn Cooke provide accountability for the money we give Shawn Cooke to maintain the division of Mansionil?
Well, documentate every money that's spent. You understand? So the wider public could see exactly how the money has been spent. You know, if I give someone something to do, I don't do like I see what is happening right now. You know, they collect cash, then compare cash. I give someone a drain to do or a piece of road to fix. They would go to the parish council to receive their check in person rather than the check clear and no one know who cleared the check and money disbursed. I will
So
make
you're
sure.
saying under a Shawn Cooke there will be no kickback in your local government.
No, no,
There
none
will be
whatsoever.
no dubious awarding of contract if you are
No.
the counselor for that division.
Yes,
And if you are giving out contract, it will be on a competition base, not because it is your friend or the friend of a friend.
exactly.
What's your plan for the elders, the infirmaries within Portland? What are your plans for the elderly and the infirmary? What social services plan do you have for the elders in using a part of your budget to make sure the social services within your division is upkept?
Okay, well, for that part now, because the elderly, the elderly needs special attention. So I would get persons to go around maybe every other week, maybe every 2 week, to go around and check on these persons that got. We have so many elders, two of them live by themselves, none really can help the other. So I would have persons that would go and check on these people at least twice a week to make sure their surroundings are well kept, and disperse a little bit of grocery, whatever we could have to give and stuff. But I will not leave anyone out and anyone behind.
How will you what guarantee you can give of when the people of Portland and in Manchonil can look for work started under a Shawn Cooke if win at the local election? When can they look for work starting on the worst of their parochial roads?
Could you repeat? It was shipping.
If you become the next councillor for the Manchonil division, can you indicate a timeline to the people of Manchonil? If I am your next councillor, give them a timeline as to when you think you can start work on the worst of roads in the Manchonil division.
Well, right now at this time, being the fact the People's National Party are not in government, we know that it will be very hard to do some of those things. You understand? Because we don't have an MP here in East Portland. The People's National Party don't have an MP, so I know it will put a strain on us. But I guarantee within the first 4 months. And my reason for that is because I will also use even my monthly salary to assist in any way possible, because I'm a hardworking person. I also do organized farming myself. I do fishing also, and I'm a businessman. So the politics money really no really matter to me, like how it matter to some people. So even my salary that I get, I could guarantee you.
Would it be fair though to say, Mr. Cooke, that most politicians would tell us that at the level of the campaign, but the minute they get into office, there is a huge change and a huge wallop of money scraping start. It is something that we're quite used to. So is it not fair to say it is something that we're quite used to from politicians at the campaign stage?
Well, people are used to it, but I guarantee sure when I become the councillor, I will prove myself to the people of Manchonil Division.
So the people of Manchonil can hold you to account that their money will be spent wisely to make sure that the services of Manchonil is provided.
Exactly.
What's your broader policy around time come? Yes, we always hear the phrase time come, but what would you say? Time come for what?
Time has come for Jamaica to take a new direction, because this direction that we are heading in is not good for any of us, because right now the country is not going anywhere. No one is getting anywhere. Everything just stagnant. So time come for a change, for a brighter Jamaica.
But what would that new direction be like under the People's National Party? What do you envisage that new direction under People's National Party government to be?
Well, as most of us know, whenever the People's National Party is in government, the people of Jamaica, they have life a little bit easier. Stabilization of food prices, food stabilize more. You know, they get better paying jobs and stuff. So I think that is the new direction, upliftment of our people.
But it's fair to say, though, after about 14, 18 years of PNP government, they didn't do much on the minimum wage or unemployment. How can we hold a People's National Party to account that poor people is going to be better off under a reformed People's National Party leadership?
Could you repeat?
How can we, given that the People's National Party was there for 18 years prior to this administration, and there was very little done on the minimum wage, there was very little done on the unemployment rate. How can a reformed People's National Party guarantee us that they will make sure poor people benefit under this new People's National Party?
Okay. Well, for one, I will say we will teach more people how to live off their own other than depending on other person. When I say that, people often talk about self-benefit to people and stuff, but I don't mention self-benefit. I talk about empowerment, and the People's National Party will come and try to empower as much people as possible by teaching people ways and means how to make their own money and or to be their own boss. One of the way is the I would say the creative industry. We will teach people how to make money by through music, through art, through farming, through all those ways.
What do you have to tell the people? What is your message for the people of Manchonil? Why should the people of Manchonil choose you?
My message for the people of Manchonil, the reason I think the people should choose me because I'm a down-to-earth person, and I don't at no time I ever think that I'm better than anyone. I will go on the corner and sit down and reason with anyone, and what a normal politician would not do. Only time they do that is when they want vote, but I do it any given time. You know, I never think that I'm better because I'm involved in politics. I'm better than no one. So that is one of the reasons why I strongly believe that people should vote for me, because I'm a down-to-earth person and I put myself down to the lowest person, because if you don't do that, you can't know what a person is feeling, you can't know a person's pain or nothing. And that is what I do.
If you are successful next month at the local elections, and 2 years down the line, the people of Manchonil, as the boy Shawn changed, sir, with things say when him get the position, him there go do better. Will you refuse to stand in the 2028 local election if the people of Manchonil are saying Shawn changed, him don't do what they tell we say him go do? From Shawn get the seat, him don't do nothing. Will you refuse to stand on political integrity? Will you refuse to stand in 2028 if the people of Manchonil is saying to you, you have failed to do what you've promised us?
I will not refuse because that would not be true because I'm a man of my word and my word is my bond and whatever I say I'm doing, I always do it. So
So
I will
caretaker
not.
council candidate is guaranteeing us tonight that once elected, I am going to work for the people of the Manchaniel division. So the
What
people
I,
of Manchaniel division won't be running around 2 years from now to say
what I,
that you have failed.
what I guarantee, sure, when I become the council of Manchaniel Division, whenever this local government election is called, I will be the councillor there for the next 30 years. That is guaranteed because my work will talk for me.
I will play a snippet of a recording for you.
Could you repeat what you were saying?
Mr. McKenzie is suggesting that there's a certain level of partisanry on the part of how you allocate certain benefits at the municipal level.
Mr. McKenzie cannot come to this on this platform and say anything like that. What I have done is what he was practicing when he was the mayor. When he was the mayor and he gets the funding from the ministry, he shares it in a 50, 100% basis. He gives the JLP 50% and they take 100%. And it is evident right now that is exactly what I'm doing.
Hold on. That maths doesn't sound right. If you get $100 million, you take 100% and get the PNP 50.
Get half of it.
No, that's not no. Something
that's what he was doing.
No, but you can't have 150% or something, sir. How much would you take and how much would you give the PNP?
If he gets $10 to share for the councillors.
Yes.
If the PMP would get 100 or $50 out of the $10, and the JLP will get $25.
But hold on, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Arithmetic not right. You get $10. You get
all right. Let me break it.
Yes. So you get $10 for spend, right? Total.
And the JLP get $5.
50%, yes?
Yes.
And the PNP and the GLP and the PNP would get how much?
The PNP gets, whenever time the PNP gets any money, whether $20 or $10, if they get $20, the JLP get $10.
Oh, so
if they get $10, the JLP get $5.
So it's 50-50 share it?
Right.
Oh.
Right. I won't get into the mayor's breaking up or breaking down the share. What I want to ask you, if become elected mayor, councillor, will you make sure the funds and the services of the Manchaniel division is applied to everyone equally, fair and square, regardless of their political alliance and lenience? Will you share based on partisan politics, or will you share based on human community?
Well, as I say, when I become when I get involved in these type of politics, and whenever I become the councillor, I will be representing everyone. Understand? Both GLP and both PMP. You understand? So I will make sure. Well, to be honest, I'm not gonna tell us I'm gonna share it 50-50. You know, but it will be shared at a very reasonable rate.
What is your final message to the people of Manchaniel and the wider Portland?
My message for the people of Manchaniel, whenever that election is called, people, make the right choice. Vote for a change, vote for a brighter Manchaniel division, vote for Shawn Cooke, vote PMP, vote for empowerment of people, and young people.
Do you have any educational qualifications?
Pardon?
Do you have any educational qualifications?
I'm a trained psychiatric nursing aide. I work at the Port Antonio Hospital for 8 years as a psychiatric nurse. Yeah. And
Do you have any final words?
No.
Would you say you are ready for the campaign the minute the election is announced?
I'm ready. I'm ready right now. Right now where I'm sitting, I'm ready. I'm ready to just hear the election date.
Positive and upbeat that you will return that division for the People's National Party?
100% with no doubt. With no doubt and no fear. From even back in 2020 when I was the candidate, I have no fear. People oftentimes saying, you are running against a giant. And I ask them what giant. I haven't seen what that man has done for me to have any fear for him. And since that interview the other day with Cliff Hugh and Wayne Mackenzie, I even have more courage and more strength to get rid of him because I see that he means the people of this division nothing good. So I'm ready and I'm waiting for whenever that time is called to just get rid of him.
I want to thank you very much for being here with us on Global TV tonight. Is there anything else that you would want to say before you go? Is there anything that you would want to get across to the people of Mansion Hill that I may have missed?
Okay, yes. What I would want to get across, I want to get across this to the young youths of Mansion Hill. The time come for you guys to vote for more than just a drink of rum. Vote for empowerment, vote for upliftment, vote for betterment of yourself.
Are you saying to the youths of Mansion Hill, don't be frightened by the bill at the bar?
Don't be frightened. That's exactly what I'm saying because that is the type of politics that they are doing at this time. Rum drinking politics. I mean, there are so many
youth. Come for the rum drinking and chicken back politics done.
Done. Then time they're done. I mean, you see a group of youths, maybe 15, 20 of them, and the first thing I offer them is a drink. You don't even ask them if them eat from morning. Enough youth out there would want to raise a pig, but the problem is you can't afford to buy the pig, but you can afford to feed it. And you don't even try find out them things there. You have to give people a chance to do something for themselves, to elevate themselves.
And you already said organized livestock farming is one of the things that you will make sure you introduce to the young people of your division.
Exactly. I believe in giving someone a start. And when I say a start, I don't mean I come here, so I give you $5,000 in your pocket, say, go see what you can do with that. That can't do nothing. I sit down and I reason with you, and you tell me how I can help you. And I say, all right. If you say I want some chicken, and I can get 50 chicken for you, I get the 50 chicken with 10 bag of feed. When I know that is a start because you have to buy not even one more bag for carry this 50 chicken throughout the 6 weeks. At them type of empowerment, them want to go out there. I've been on the road.
You want to make sure rather than buying goat or farm, you grow those goats in Portland.
In Portland, right here. We have enough land space to raise the goat. We have enough land space to do the organized farming. We have rivers where we can get water to water the crops. But these people are lack of ideas. They are lack of ideas. And I would not even say they are lack of ideas. They have ideas, but they are just thinking about themselves. They don't care about people. And once you uplift the people in the communities, the community itself eventually become better. a more beautiful place. You do nothing for the people, you can't expect the community to go up. It must go down. You have to give youths a chance to put 3 side on them parents' house and live comfortable right there so till them can go make 4 side for themselves. And me not see that I go on a mansion here. Me not see that I go on nowhere right now under the government, under the governance of the Jamaica Labour Party. And that are one of my plan when I want to go out there go do. You know, sit
What
down
do you
and
think
read.
about the Prime Minister attempt to tamper with the Electoral Office of Jamaica and the police and the Office of the Political Ombudsman just before an election?
Well, we all know that this prime minister is one of the most corrupt prime minister ever in the history of Jamaican politics. So nothing when do not really surprise me. You understand? We are expecting an election day to be announced tomorrow, but I won't be surprised even if it don't announce because I know the level of corruption of this prime minister of Jamaica. So nothing what he does surprise me.
What would be the People's National Party reaction if the Prime Minister have until the latest, the 7th of February, to announce an election date? What would the People's National Party reaction be if that date winds down and the Prime Minister has not called an election or give an excuse of why he has not announced a date for election?
Well, I'm sure a lot of us would be disappointed. Myself also because I've been preparing for this election for the last 4 months. I thought it would call in December and it did not call. And a few weeks ago in early January, I thought they would announce the election and it's still, so, you know, it would be so disappointed. And if that happened, I think we would have to take some form of legal action and see what can be done. You know, as a prime minister and him do things him way how him want it to done, but you know, we couldn't just sit back and just take this one like that because we are getting ready, we are preparing ourselves for a while now, and it would be so disappointed. So, you know.
Oftentimes, Jamaicans would say, enough of them old people in politics now. Some of them old man here when not do nothing from them dead. To move aside and go sit down and give young people the opportunity. But we see where a young Andrew Holness got that opportunity and become the worst tyrant we've ever seen since slavery. We have a young Shawn going up against an outdated Thompson rather. If the young visionary comes in, how can we guarantee that this young visionary won't turn into what we see Andrew Holness become?
Well, honestly, age is just a number, you know, and you know it is the person himself. I would never say young or old because if he's a bad person, it no matter if he's young or old, he's still a bad person. And if he's a good person, it does not matter if he's young or old either. You understand? So it what you have inside. You understand the goodness of your heart and what you have inside and the love you have for people. You know? So that's what it all break down to. People are not old, not age, not young or old or middle age or whatever. It's just people are not old.
I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. And once your campaign has started, if you have a message you want to get out there to your community and the wider Jamaica, you can always come back to Global TV because over here, we're giving everybody advice to tell Jamaica what's in my market basket.
Okay,
So
definitely.
thank you very much for being here with us this evening. And we
Yes.
hope if you have anything to come back for, we will do facilitate.
Okay, thanks for having me also. All right.
You're welcome.
Uh,
You're welcome. Thank you. Well, that's it, Jamaica. This was our sit down. I hope I may have been messy and all over the place tonight, but it's a work in progress. We will improve. It's my second of interviews. It's a work in process. We will improve. But please do give me your feedbacks. And thank you all in the comment for keeping the chat going. I get a bit confused when doing many things at many times. But thank you all for being here. You know my 1 hour has come to its timing, but there's quite a lot of people who came on that I didn't manage to shout out. Mary Messenger, Adu James, Beulah, JJ, Rodney Reed, C. Forbes, Douglas Allen, Monica Willis. Who else came on that I have not acknowledged? Let me see. Let me see who I may have missed. Lilith Lockerbie. Lockerbie. My tongue, sorry. Who else? Who else? G. Who else? Good evening, and thank everyone for being here this evening. I really appreciate your support. Lisa Stanley, thank you very much. Good evening. Carlton Lovelace, good evening. Thank you. No, I understand that it's not about age and I'm not discriminating, but I'm just using that thing that we always say. Them people are there a long time and them old and them for go on and give people the opportunities and new ideas. But what I'm trying to say is we apply that to Andrew Holness, and Andrew Holness become as the youngest we've ever had as a prime minister. Andrew Holness has become worse than those we say are the older generations who were there and didn't do anything. We would have expected that generation that Andrew Holness is a more visionary type. They grow up in a fluid generation where we understand things a bit differently from the older generation. You'd think there would be that type of humanity in a Holness politics, but he's worse than them like whether they are thief from Crocodile, really. But over here, we're willing to give a voice to everybody. Ton of flavor, good evening and welcome. Everybody who is going up in this general election. Kofi, good evening and welcome. Kofi, are you from Ghana? It's quite a popular Ghana name. But that's a Jamaican Kofi though. Because, yeah. Tomorrow, Winston Dawkins, you're going to have to watch back. We had an interview earlier, Winston, so you're going to have to watch back. But please do let it be known over here that even Mark Golden and Andrew Holness is welcome to sit down and spread their market style out. If they want to make it like a bend-down market, or they want to make it like a boutique style, Global TV will facilitate what everybody have to tell their voters. Whatever promise you have for your voters, Global TV will help to facilitate that message. But what Global TV will also do is be critiquing, analyzing, commenting on the whole process, from nomination campaign, polling, results, and the big question of the aftermath. What was the voters' turnout? Was the election fair? Did Wholeness tamper with the election? Did Wholeness attempt to tamper with the election? Those are probably some of the big questions we will be asking after voting. This was your first night of Jamaica Decide. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for being here with me tonight. And this, the first of a 5-week series of program that will be covering everything to do with our local election. In the dead of night, hours before the announcing of a local government election, Andrew Holness and Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, went into Parliament with the legislation in the attempt to pass it within an 8-hour, 9-hour working day, in order to lump the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and the Office of the Political Ombudsman, which the Office of the Political Ombudsman should be an office operating independent of government. But in order to corrupt the election, in order to attempt a corrupt election, Wholeness wants to put the Office of the Political Ombudsman into the Office of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. If there is any fraudulent activity, if the Prime Minister and Delroy Chuck has their way by lumping the two together, and there is fraudulent activity in the local government election, we would be asking a mosquito to brush a mosquito out of our face. You're asking Earl Jarrett, who is the chairman of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, who wants to become the political ombudsman, the parliamentary ombudsman, political ombudsman. It's a whole tongue-tie of things, but you understand what I'm saying. You'll be asking him as the policing watchdog for Parliament. You'll be asking him to investigate another body he's the chairman for, the ECJ. If this is not corruption, in the dead of night, hours before the announcement of an election, I don't know what this would be, but this is where we ended tonight. Thank you very much, and we will see you back here tomorrow. This was your first program in the series of Jamaica Decide 2024.